Hi everybody, it's been a couple of weeks since I've put a video on, so I thought I'd just show you what I'm doing now. I've got a cold spot in my kiln and I've been racking my brains as to what to put in it, so I've decided to throw some bottles that I can sort of paddle the sides of them and put a sort of a lower fired Temaku on it. It doesn't actually get to cone 10, it only needs to get to cone 8, so I'm just producing some pots specifically for that part of the kiln. This clay's got, it's the usual crank clay, but it's got some very smooth white stoneware mixed into it. And it throws a lot nicer. That's a friend of mine, Alex Shimwell. It can be a bit short, this clay, this crank clay. It's alright for big sort of moon jar type pieces or big slab type pots, but it needs to be a little bit more plastic. So I've mixed some extra smooth, sort of an extra smooth white stoneware in with about 20%. And so far so good, it's been throwing lovely. This is just a simple bottle form that I belly out, and then we'll paddle it when it's just before it's cheese hard, not quite leather hard. Because I'm going to paddle the side of it, the base needs to be quite narrow, otherwise it tends to look like it's been dropped from a height or the bottom's been cut off. You know, it doesn't look, as form is concerned, it's not that brilliant. So you need to get the base here quite narrow. Begin to belly it out. Close the neck in. You always get a bit of a wobble on the top of here when you've opened it out and then close it in. I've never been able to overcome it. I suppose there's a way of doing it, but too old to start figuring out how to do things now. Works for me, so. There we go. I've kept quite a bit of clay in here because the worst thing you can do is get to the top and make a neck and it's been thin and mean and wishy-washy. You need quite a bit of clay left here just so you can get a nice formed neck on it. Right, what I'm going to use now is, if I can find it, I'm done with it. There we are. This is a throwing stick that I made specifically for this job. Got a bit of a gooseneck in the top there. I'll go inside with it. Thin spot on this bottom here. We'll persevere with it. I'm just gently bellying it out from the inside. I can feel the head of the throwing stick with my fingers. I'm not hardly touching it, just sort of guiding it. Throw it up to the point whereby I can get a my finger inside it. And I've got quite a bit of clay left here now, so I've got plenty to work with. Collar it in with my fingers. Yeah, it's just like that. It's like the 6 point with 2 fingers when you're doing a large bottle, but I find it better to do it with 5 fingers. Still got a nice bit of clay here to work with. See that neck there, if you can see it, we can do a close up. It's still quite thick there. Nice. One of my faults that I've looked at some old pots and the necks are quite mean and sharp, and I don't like them. So we'll just leave a bit of meat on them. The good thing about it is if it is a bit toothy, you can always trim a bit off, I suppose. Leather the rim, which I always forget to do. What I'm doing as well is I'm using my finger with the leather around it to give me my curve there, so that it's sort of uniform on all the bottles. So that's a nice curve there. It goes in there. And then just to finish it off, we'll turn the stick around. There's a large, sort of a rounder end. And at this end here it's a bit narrower. And this bit here is to just finish this shoulder off here and just push it out a little bit more. I'm trying to get my hand around here so you can see what's happening on the side. Might cock it up totally, but still got a bit of a shoulder here. Can't quite see it on the TV screen there, but what I'll do is turn it round and use the back of it, and it will just get that sorted. Leather again to get my rim right again. And there we have it. Just gonna use a throwing stick here. Sorry, a cut-off stick here to trim the bottom. I shall turn a foot ring on this, but only sort of a minimal one. Most of the throwing's been done. And that's it. Dry my hands. Feels quite light, I like that one. Okay, that's 4 done now. We've got another one to do. I'll not bore you with that one. And then that's me done for the day. See you.